Because we're going to get started, and I have a feeling that there are going to be a lot of people that are coming in and out. So I'm going to do an introduction in the beginning, and then we're going to take a little bit of a break, so everybody get used to restroom, things like that. And what I'll do is a quick reintroduction, because I think it's very important also the instructor that's teaching you. So anybody else that comes in later, you might have to hear it again at the second time go around. Um, so we're going to go ahead and rock and roll. Listen. And Roma, you might want to keep some notes because some people might start putting in the chat, I don't know where we are. And there's a reason for that. I know that was it yesterday you guys took the class, honey? I see that you're on camera. I appreciate you being on camera. I would love for you guys to be on camera. That's always better. And to see people, it gives me energy. But I did hear that the what we're presenting you on PowerPoint and what you have in your book, if you actually downloaded a book, it doesn't all match. And this is why. Ignite is in the process or has been in the process of kind of being reformatted to fit how we are with technology, how real estate is today. And because of that, Keller Williams University, they've already recreated the actual PowerPoints to make it flow a little bit better. So it doesn't necessarily follow your book as much, but the book is great to have. This is your how-to. This is you can pull it out to remind you on, how to do certain things. If you want to figure out lead generation, you can go back and look at it. The content is still there. It's just laid out a little bit differently. So what you're going to learn today, we're going to cover path to production and we're going to talk about generating your leads. Okay. According to mine, I think it's number 5, but it might be number 2 in your book. So if somebody wants to look through it, I'm going to click forward a little bit just so you can see what it looks like. And then I'm going to go back. So you can kind of see where we are um, when it comes to the book. So if you can find a part of it. And if somebody finds it, you know where it is. Can you please put it in the chat for people to see? So this is what we're going to be dealing with, lead generation. So we're going to talk about generating your leads, growing your database, capture your leads, open houses, capture leads with social media, capture more leads. That's your lead generation part. Okay, so we're going to cover generating your leads. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just back up a little bit because we have to do the right things. And it's not going back, it's going forward. Let me go back. Okay, there we go. Me and technology, we used to be great friends, and then I started getting older and it started getting quicker and smarter, and that somehow there was a little bit of a disconnect there. So we go. So just a warning, we have to tell you this. We're not going to really be calling while we're doing this class. We are going to shoot some text messages out because I want to always do some lead generation. So just so you know, you need to always look through do not call lists because otherwise you can get fined. Keller Williams is not in charge of it. So just wanted to make sure we have that out there. So this part is about that. Negotiating commissions. We all know about the commission structure now. It's not set by law. You can negotiate it anytime. And then we have fair housing and AI disclaimers also. So fair housing, make sure you understand the rules for that, and spam, etc. So when we're lead generating this time around, I want you to text people that are in your phone, people that actually know you, okay? So that's how we're gonna go. So all of KW information that you're getting here has been copyrighted, so you cannot copy and paste and give it that stuff to anybody else. All right, are y'all ready to rock and roll? And when I ask questions, I know there's going to be a lot of people on. I do not mind you coming off mute and going like, yeah, we're ready. I just need some energy. I am not a fan of teaching via Zoom, but I love doing it because I know that there's people from all over and gives me great opportunities to get to know new folks all over the United States. All right. So in real estate, we basically have a lot of different steps, right? You're the real estate expert. You need to go lead generate. You need to go lead follow up, and then you need to start the transaction. That's our everyday job. So if you're starting real estate, you got to make sure you know that job that's there. Let me see how many people we got, and I'll do the intro. Perfect, 133. All right. So my name is Natalie Vuoriaho. You see it on here. I am a real estate agent and realtor down here in Atlanta, Georgia. I was originally born and raised in Stockholm, Sweden. My mom is from Finland. My dad is East African, Eritrean. So I am a little very much multicultural. I've been in Atlanta for 30 years, so I know Atlanta like the back of my hand. And for the last 2 years, I've been living bicontinentally. I set up my business where I can run it pretty much from everywhere. I have a small team here in Atlanta. We just got about 3 people that work with me. Roma is on, and then Medina is my buyer's agent. I have a showing agent. And then I have also an overflow transaction coordinator if I need to. Now, I've been living part-time in Barcelona because I just wanted to take a little bit of a break from real estate. I'm also a MAPS business coach and a KW certified instructor. So I come from a background of teaching, so I taught for 10 years. And then I entered real estate about 12 years ago, and I've been a top producer here in Atlanta for a while. So I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of background about me so you know how I flow, how I move, where I'm from. And I am always willing to take amazing referrals here in Atlanta because it seems like everybody keeps moving here from all over the world, especially from these states like California, New York, and DC. Must be the cost of living there because cost of living here is a lot less. So that's my little pitch. This is what I do, and I'm going to go ahead and jump in. If you have questions throughout, go ahead and put them in the chat. And then every so often, I will have my admin text me and tell me to look at the chat so that I can see it. If it's urgent and you need a question answered right away, feel free to come off and be like, "Hey, I'm not sure. I don't know where we are." It is okay to do that as well. Fair? There are ways for you to put thumbs up, give emojis. I'm good at that as well. I just want to know that you're plugged in and you hear me and you know what's going on. Good?
Good.
And the ones that are on camera, give me some thumbs up. Let me see that you're there. And if you're not on camera, I would love for you to get on camera. It'd be great. So we're going to talk about generating your leads. This is the deal. In real estate, if you don't generate leads, you're not going to have business. So if you got your real estate license and you thought that's going to come with $1 million check, that ain't it. I know it shows that when you watch those like Sunset, all the real estate shows, like, yeah, it looks like they're getting $1 million checks all the time. Not the case for us. And in today's market, lead generation is probably more important than it was during COVID when everybody was buying a house and everybody was getting their real estate license. So we need to talk about how to generate your leads. Now, I'm going to tell you kind of all the different ways that you can do it in our curriculum, and I'm going to slide in a few things of how I like to do it as well, and some suggestions, as well as maybe potentially some scripts for you. Now, you can see that I'm a very outgoing person. I don't meet a stranger. My admin will put my information every so often in the chat so you can grab my information. If you want some information in regards to how I lead generate and you want to set up a call, I'm open for that as well. Count me as a resource. Okay. So when you're dealing with lead generation, um, let me just start off by you have to make sure you put everybody somewhere. The biggest mistake I made when I started at Keller Williams and we got Command, we had another software, CRM before, is I really didn't use it. And here I am now, 12 years later, and my database still is not polished, right? I have people in there that shouldn't be in there. If you are newer, or if you haven't really gone into production yet, or you've been up learning for a while, you would retake this, that's fine as well. Start learning Command. Use it. Put everybody in there. Start putting and making it robust. Because when you start getting busy, you're going to start forgetting about the people that you met that said they want to buy a house in 6 months. Okay? So do me a favor, make sure that you start using Command. Okay? So you are the lead generator. Okay? And Gary Keller says, my fear of failure was greater than my fear of lead generating. Can somebody tell me what you think that he meant when he said that? Anybody? I'm going to do this all night and I'm going
It
to,
was probably, sometimes you're afraid of rejection. So
right? So you could be afraid of rejection. And if you've ever heard Gary Keller's story, when he started Keller Williams, he barely like there was no business, right? So he had to do it. He did not want to fail. Like he was so determined to make it that that fear of potentially failing was going to not be as big as lead generating. So he started lead generating and built a crazy business, right? And you see what we are now. So we always say also, you hear people say, I don't want to lead generate. Listen, it's not lead generation. It is having conversations. Okay. And you need to figure out how you want to lead generate. Some people like expires. Some people like calling their friends. Some people like me like to go out on a happy hour and have conversations with everybody around there. And next thing I know, I got somebody that wants to buy a house, right? So you got to figure out how do you like to lead generate and what's successful for you, and then go and lean into that. So fear of failure is greater than my fear of lead generating. Thank you, Melissa. I think it was Melissa that said it. All right, so here's the 6 core competencies of business. First thing we need to do is lead generate and then we need to capture. And the capture is putting them into the database. So if you meet, like I'm going out to happy hour, well, late happy hour after this, with a couple of friends of mine. I know that my goal that day, every time I go anywhere public, is to meet 5 new people and get their information. Once I get that, I'm talking to them. I make sure they know I'm a real estate agent, right? So when they say, "Oh, what do you do?" I go, "Oh, I may find that I help people build wealth," right? So then they say, "Oh, you're a financial advisor." No, no, I'm a real estate agent. My job is to help my clients build wealth via real estate. It just is different conversation. Figure out what your script is. And then normally it starts a conversation like, well, how do you help people build wealth? You just tell people to buy a house with 8% interest rates, right? Well, no, not necessarily, but my job is to look at their overall situation and figure out how they can go in and buy a house if it's the first house. Or if they're looking to invest, there's always opportunities in real estate, right? I then take that information and I'm going to put it in command. When I put it in command, I'm going to know and I'm going to tag them the correct way. Then I'm going to try to set the appointment and convert the appointment. Then after that, I'm going to present to buyers and sellers. Like I'm going to do a buyer's consultation. I'm going to do a seller listing presentation, and I'm going to put them in a get agreement. After that, we're going to show houses. So I'm going to market the house. Then it's the fun part, going right and negotiate a contract. Then we coordinate the sale of the closing. And then after that, when we close them, that transaction is done. But now we have to manage our money. Because when we make money, guys, there's one person that's always, oh, somebody, we call him Uncle Sam, but it's not a person, that's going to want their part too. So we have to manage our money and know where to put it in what pot to put it in. Do I want to market again? What do I want to do with that money? So don't go spend it right away. So those are the 6 competencies of business when it comes to real estate. Okay. Here are some fears and myths in lead generation. I think lead generation is really difficult. I hear people say that all the time. I don't have time to lead generate. I don't know what to say. If you're a newer agent, I hear it all the time when I talk to agents here and the agents I mentor in our office. I'm afraid of making mistakes. Okay, so here's the reality of it is, I think lead generation is really difficult. I was confusing effort with enjoyment because lead generation is actually easy. It's just not fun unless you do it in a way that you like. Like if you're a people person and you like to teach, start doing seminars. You get to teach people and then that's your lead generation. If you love to go hiking, join hiking groups. Go hike with people. Start having conversation about real estate while you're up in the mountain. I would love to have my investor build a house up here in this beautiful mountain. Whatever. It's not it's actually really easy. It's just not always enjoyable unless you do something you like to do. I don't have time to lead generate. First of all, everybody has time to lead generate. It's just making time and protecting that time. So if you have lead generation in your calendar, you can't just swipe it away and say, I'll do it later. You actually have to honor that time and make sure that you build a bunker. I don't know what to say. Well, you have to get to the path of mastering dialogue skills needed in a business, right? So you just have to practice scripts. So if you just work on scripts once a day, 15 minutes, you actually can download a lot of scripts and listen to them. And now you actually can use ChatGPT as your script partner and say, hey, give me some good scripts to talk to people about the interest rate today. And then you tell them, hey, this is how I did. And you respond back and ask them, did I do well? What would you recommend? So you have no reasons not to know what to say, not in today's society. I'm afraid of making mistakes. I found that lead generation is nothing more than a set of tasks and skills that are well documented. Will you make mistakes? Yes, but mistakes can always be resolved. And if you don't know the answer to something that somebody asks, you just say, hey, I'm not sure about it. Let me look into it and come back to you. Okay? Oh, now let me move this down. So this is kind of the picture that was there is like sphere of influence. What we have found out that if you have number of contacts in your phone right now, 250, and you might want to do this activity in your book. If you have 250 contacts in your phone, the potential closing opportunity on that out of 250 is 20. And if you get referrals from them, you can potentially get 25 extra referrals. So that means out of your 250 people that are in your phone, which by the way means you actually have to talk to them. You can't just have them in your phone. They need to know one day you're in real estate. You need to stay on top of their mind, communicate with them. But if they do, out of 250, you should be able to convert 20 when you ask for business. And if you ask for referrals and do a good job, you should get another 25. That's potential business every year for 45 transactions. I know this typical commission here is super low. I don't think 5,000 is normal. Here in Atlanta, the typical commission is almost 12,000 because our average price point is about 440,000. So we're just going to use 5,000 as an example. The income opportunity for you on there on gross commission income is 225,000. So your database is a gold mine. So your sphere of influence is what you should work always, period. If you're new to a city, that might be a little bit different. That's a different conversation. Then you might have to do a different, actually create a sphere of influence in that city, or you call people in other cities and refer that business out and ask them who they know here in the city that you're in. But yeah, sometimes when you move to a new city, you have to like create that. I'm not gonna do a house yet because that was kind of so you're the lead generator, okay? So that's your job. Your job every day is to do that. If you want to read a good book and you haven't read it yet, I would highly recommend reading The One Thing. The One Thing talks about your 80/20, and we'll talk a little bit about that, but it's a really good book. It's your job is to lead generate. That's it. That's your only main job right now. And then when you get busy, you have to still keep lead generating so that your business doesn't start getting loopy like this, where you're busy, 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 and then you didn't lead generate, and now you have no business, and it kind of died out. Okay. So this is the lead generation model. The lead generation model is pretty cool. We've had this in KW for a very long time. And oh, let me go back. All right, there we go. And your job is to go out and capture these leads, right? It's your prospecting, your marketing. And so, does anybody know the difference between prospecting and marketing?
Knocking on doors and hosting events.
Okay, so let's talk about it. So knocking on doors and hosting events are definitely an example of prospecting, right? So those what you mentioned is something that you are actually doing with people or to get people in. Marketing could be when I run an ad on Facebook, I'm not really talking to people. The content is talking like sent to them, and maybe somebody clicks on it and I get a lead, right? So you want to capture it. When you're prospecting, you're talking to people, you're meeting people either face to face, over the phone, etc., or via Zoom land, right? And then you get their information. Then they go into your database. And once they go in your database, which we have command, you then start creating what we call relationship management. And from there, you want to take those people that you have in it, have conversations with them, and they turn into leads, right? You form relationships and they turn into leads. And when they turn into leads, you then want to also make sure they're there because you want to create those existing relationships that are there, your contacts. So you got your database, so you got your prospects that come down, your marketing people that come down. They're either your contacts or your leads. When they're your leads, they go into your database and they become a contact as well. And then you create opportunities and you start communicating with them. And your goal is to cultivate those contacts for conversion. Conversion just means they're going to become buyers or sellers, right? You have, and then you start having interactive needs-based offerings from that. So it's constantly going on. Like when I go tonight to go network, I'll meet 5 new people. I'm going to put them in my database and we're going to start communicating with them. So you have to have some systems in place to make sure that you do it in a high and effective manner. Once you get them taken care of and you converted them and they closed on it, you really have to rinse and repeat because those clients are going to go back into your database for when they have a need again. And when you do a good job, you're going to get a referral from them. So you're going to ask them for referrals. You're going to get the information, move them back up there, and continue communicating with them. And really, that's our whole lead generation model. It's not hard. It's just needing to be systematic so that you don't miss opportunities. So I went through this quickly, just overall, just as a teacher, and then you'll see on here that you have it. So we're talking about prospecting, marketing. It's really activities that will get you some leads to your business. And we talked a little bit about the prospecting versus marketing. Prospecting is normally face to face or talking on the phone, I said. Prospecting also is a lot more time sensitive, but it doesn't cost money. Like you can pick up the phone and talk to people, it doesn't cost you money. It's really proactive too, and you normally get immediate results because if you talk to somebody, say, "Hey, who do you know that wants to buy a house?" They go, "Oh, my son does." Well, you just got the immediate result on it. While Marketing is more money intensive. It's passive. You're not really doing a lot to it. You're spending money and you're not going to necessarily get results right away. It could be a little bit long term. So I tell people all the time, we lead with revenue. So if you don't have deals, you don't have money coming in, I would not spend money on marketing. I wouldn't be paying money for leads. You lead with revenue. That's how we do it because we want to make sure we're profitable. But your prospecting is where you want to put your time in. Okay. I always say that how you put people into your command and how you tag them is going to be very important. So I'll give you a couple of kind of ways that I tag people. I say all the time that everybody that you meet will be one of these five things. You might want to write this down because this is not an ignite. And when I started looking at this myself, I had an aha moment. So everybody you meet are either going to be one of these five things. One, they're going to either be a buyer.
Natalie, you're muted.
muted.
Well, that's good. Okay, well, how did I have that much power I can mute myself? Look, even my computer told me to be quiet. Okay. What did you hear the five? Buyer?
Just buyer.
Okay, buyer. Okay, we're at the buyer. Thank you so much. All right, so buyer, they're going to either be a buyer, a seller, an investor, a referral partner, and here's the last one, guys, a recruit. Some of my clients have become real estate agents, are top agents now. So I always look at every person that I meet when I'm lead generating, not when I'm just out having fun, but when I'm focused and I'm lead generating and I'm out somewhere and I'm having conversations, they're one of those five. It's my job to find out which five they might be. Now, buyer seller is pretty easy to find out. Investors pretty easy to find out just off conversations. I say referral partner because sometimes they might not need your services. I have a client of mine that's a mortgage lender. And her mom is a real estate agent. When she bought a house, she had to use her mom. She does not refer her mom any business. She refers that business to me. And this is why. Mom is not really that on top of things, doesn't connect with the younger audience. She doesn't want to come into the city. She's comfortable just doing, a couple of friends here and there. So even though when I met her and I heard her mom was a real estate agent, I just assumed that I'm not going to ever get any business with her. I did ask her, how could I become your number two real estate agent that you could refer business to me? And she said, honestly, I'm going to have to use my mom, but you're probably going to be my number one if you do these things. So everybody is one of these five. So as you talk to people, understand who they are and make sure you tag them that way in your database. So tag them as a buyer, a seller, an investor, a recruit, or referral partner. Like they need to be tagged to one of those. Now, what I will also say is, and I have a buyer, for example, and they buy, as soon as they close, we move them from buyer to seller because they are homeowners now. So the next move they're probably gonna do is a seller. If I know they've talked about maybe buying some investment property, I then tag them as an investor as well. So how you tag people, I think, is important because when we start sending newsletters, things like that, you want to make sure you're not sending newsletters talking about buying to somebody that's not looking to buy. Right? So maybe more about house, how to keep up or maintain a house, things like that needs to go to your sellers or homeowners, right? So I wanted to kind of give that as a little caveat that has helped me really make sure that when I lead generate, I'm lead generating the right way. So your relationship management is really important. We talked about that a little bit. Leads and contacts. People that you've had two-way communication, they're your contacts and they go into your database because you've spoke to them. Leads are sometimes somebody that just called you saying, hey, I want to look at this house. They're now a lead until you have a conversation with you. When you have a conversation with you, they have a conversation with you, you have to get information. Can somebody tell me what kind of information you need to make sure you get from them to put in your database?
Their name, their email, their cell phone number.
Name, email, cell phone number to me are like the standard three, right? Now, you don't want to meet somebody right away and go, okay, can I have your name? Can I have your email number? Can I have your phone number? Can I have your address? Can I have your child's first name, last name? Like, that's just a little too much. So I would always say, understand who you're speaking with, but I would definitely make sure that I have their phone number and email for sure, because you want to be able to send them information. And you can do it in a nice way so it doesn't sound like you're just trying to get their data. But like, hey, I would like to send you something via email. What's your email, right? hey, I would like to send you my some of my events that I have coming up. What's your phone number? I can text you right now. Like a lot of times when I ask for that information, that's how I do it. So it's not just sounded like I'm just asking for like, everything at one time. Yes, Caroline, you have a question.
Yeah, I was just going to say also this day and age, you can also ask for their handle, like their social media.
Boom. Okay, so now we're stepping up. Okay, so yes. So phone, emails, because a lot of times I take a phone. Hold on. Phone, email is type of communication, text messages. So if you look at all those, phone calls are great, but honestly, you also have to understand that most people just want to text. And social media handles are powerful because people like to DM. Like my younger generation, they're like, "Oh, look, can we just talk on Instagram?" I'm sorry, what? I'm turning 50. I don't want to talk on Instagram. Like, how do I do that again? Okay, I'm not that bad. I know Instagram still, but don't put me on TikTok. I don't know how to function that. But Instagram handles are really cool and really good. I've also, when I network for companies, not necessarily people, like when I'm out networking and other business owners, I do ask for their LinkedIn as well. And so a lot of times while I'm talking to somebody, hey, do you mind if we connect on LinkedIn? Because I love to see kind of who they know, what do they know, and LinkedIn has a much higher average income level when you look at people that are on LinkedIn than Instagram and Facebook. So I've started really looking to connect with people on LinkedIn. That's actually one of the things we're doing this year. Is anybody on Facebook that we want to stay in touch with, we're seeing if they're also on LinkedIn and sending messages. But the way we can communicate is phone calls, emails, text messages, your face-to-face. We have the KW app, handwritten communication, and what's not on here is social media. That should be on here as well. I'll put that, tell them they need to add that. Because yeah, people do use using DM all the time for communication. Now, if you don't have your KW app set up for you with your face on it, I need you to make a little note to do that. When you talk to people, I always say, hey, do you ever drive around and you wonder how much your house is here? I wonder how much that house is. They go, yeah. I was like, oh, let me send you my KW app. When you're out, you can actually put the location and it will show you. Don't do it when you drive, though. I want you to be safe, right? And then you can use that. Once they download your KW app, it's almost impossible to get your face off of it. Okay? Almost impossible. So you want to be the one that gives them their first KW app, not somebody else around the neighborhood, okay? So, and then handwritten communication is really, really great, guys. I'm actually sitting here. Well, I wasn't. I just finished doing cards, New Year's cards that are going out this Friday. I always wait to the first flow, and I'm putting it's handwritten. I wrote some handwritten stuff in there. I think it's so powerful to send a handwritten communication. We don't get that anymore. Everybody just gets bills or even that in the mailbox. So handwritten communication is still totally proven. And if you ever send out any kind of mailers and things, writing the address with handwriting, they're gonna have a much higher conversion of them opening it up. We talked about lead generation never ends. It goes around and around. Give me a couple of ahas right quick. Feel like now you guys are waking up. Let's go. What you got?
KW app.
I'm sorry, say it again.
KW.
LinkedIn.
KW app, right? As a matter of fact, has anybody even looked at the KW app? It was a little glitchy there for a little bit. It could still be a little glitchy. You just want your name to be there because if they ever share that with their friend gets your face too. Okay? So make sure that you do that for sure. The KW app. Anything else?
There's
Getting
5 tags that
social
you
media
use: buyer,
handles.
seller, investor, referral partner, and recruit.
Right. Isn't it amazing when you start looking at, we don't want to look at people as non-people, but we want to look at people as an opportunity because if we're lead generating, that's what we should be doing. So having clarity around it, I think is really powerful. Uh, how many of you had a parent that said, oh, money doesn't grow on trees? Like my mom used to tell me that in Sweden. I think that's an American saying as well. Well, I do believe that money does grow kind of on trees when you're in real estate. It's just this tree. You start with your base, right? Which is your tree trunk. And that's your first piece of business that you got. If you do a good job and you communicate with them, that branch is going to start growing. If you do a good job and you help them with the buy or sell, they're going to refer your business. That branch now gets another branch off of it. You keep watering that tree, they're going to get leaves and they're going to think about it and then keep growing, right? And then that's how you get it. So when you're lead generating your sphere of influence, you have different branches all the way. let's say you do an open house, right? Now it's open house. There's somebody, people that you don't know at all in a new neighborhood. Well, you start getting that information, you're nurturing up a new branch. And when you get a deal with them and you close them, do a good job, that branch branches off, right? And then that branch branches off um, and gets another a branch on it and more leaves. So those leaves are your leads that turn into transactions that turn into money. So I will tell you, if you do things right, you can have a money tree. It's just the stump of the tree or the branch or the trunk of the tree is just one
Money,
thing that
money,
it's called
money.
lead generation. You guys make sure you're on mute. So it's lead generation. So just think about it. When you get frustrated, you just got to keep watering that tree and making sure your branches keep growing. Okay?
Hey, Natalie.
Yes.
So, my name is Lisa, and thank you so much. Hey,
Hey.
I'm gonna say
Okay.
what James Shaw has said, take a sip of something if you're not on mute. And so I would say I took away the LinkedIn aspect because so many realtors are not on LinkedIn. And so like I already was because I came from the corporate world, but it was funny when I first joined my brokerage and I was like, "Oh, are you on LinkedIn?" And like people were like, "No, I don't know what it is. I'm not gonna I don't know that."
Yeah.
So
LinkedIn is
LinkedIn,
powerful.
yes, and it is, and it happens to talk to ChatGPT. So I took a class in my brokerage about ChatGPT and how it recommends realtors. Like if you're looking for realtors in a certain geographical area,
Yeah, if you go and Google yourself and say, well, not
yeah,
yourself, say
it
top real estate
takes
agent in Atlanta, are you showing up?
yeah. So LinkedIn is a way to show up. So I would say just like check it out, do it.
Yeah, and also if
Thanks.
you're going to do it at a high level, and you're right, Lisa. Thanks for bringing that up. I didn't want to go deep into that because I'll AI you guys to death totally if I start with it because that's what I'm like learning about right now. But what I will say is if you start putting blogs and articles and things like that in your LinkedIn and you use certain keywords and buzzwords, your SOI and what ChatGPT looks for is going to pop up. So ChatGPT is where people are now. We were just talking, and I had an agent in our office, and they had asked the guy, "How did you find me?" And he said, "I asked ChatGPT for the top real estate agent in this area, and you popped up." And he's been doing these things. So yeah, definitely, I would recommend looking in if you want to kind of be show up in ChatGPT. There's a lot of training for that for sure. All right, so your sphere of influence. Let's just talk about what a sphere of influence is. Somebody tell me, where do people that are in your sphere of influence, basically, I talk about my friends all the time as a circle. The circle of people that if I say, I say, hey, this is Natalie, how you doing? They'll know who I am. That's your sphere of influence. Like if somebody says their name, they know you. If they don't know you, that's not your sphere of influence. That's just somebody you met one time, you didn't build a relationship, and you put them in a database. That's still not your sphere of influence. Sphere of influence is you have some influence in them, they have influence in you, blah, blah, blah. So here's some pictures, for example. If you have kids, PTO, parents in a school, etc., those could all become part of your sphere of influence, getting them and let them know you're in real estate. Like if you like Lisa said, she was in corporate America. Her previous coworkers, right, that know her, those are her sphere of influence. Your family sphere of influence, your friends sphere of influence. Your male lady or a guy could be a sphere of influence. Whoever you have talked to and they know you, you need to make sure that their information is in your database. So people you talk to sometimes and you see them all the time, like the person at the coffee shop that goes and makes your coffee every day. You don't have their phone number, but guess what? They probably know your name, right? So these are people that you want to make sure that you have them also in command because your sphere of influence is going to be the ones that definitely is going to build your business the fastest. Now, let me just give you something right quick. Don't be surprised if your family does not use you, okay? They know that you're new and they might not feel comfortable using you yet. So when you start talking to somebody that might be that way, I always tell agents in our office, just say we. We want to help you. And if they say we, what do you mean we? Oh, me and my team. Because your brokerage is your team. Because if you have a situation you're not sure what to do, you have people in the office that can help you. So as you're talking, and if you're a newer agent, just use the word we. I have agents in my office all the time that say we, and then they have a listing appointment or something, and they're not sure what they're doing, and they're like, "Can you come with me? Can we co-list?" Absolutely. We're still we, right? So your immediate family, friends, relatives, neighbors, past coworkers, hobby, sports, group, teachers, all of them are people that could be in your sphere of influence. You want to categorize them as well. Now, I'm a cigar smoker. That's my vice. Okay. I actually have a tag in my command for cigars. Why? Because if I know of a cigar event happening in Atlanta, I want to pull my cigar smokers from my command so that I can invite them to it. Right? I'm also a little bit of a wine snob, my other vice. So I have people that like wine. I'm a foodie. So I've started tagging my big foodie clients that we like you start talking about food and they shine up. I have them tagged too. And I have them in groups on my I have a text messaging app that I use called Hit 'em Up. And I've organized people, my past clients in there. And one or group that I have is the foodies. And when I get that, if I'm out somewhere and I have some really good food, I take a picture of it and go, I just went to this great restaurant, had this meal, I thought of you, and I can send it through the group and it comes direct from my heart. So if you want something that's going to be easy to set up, and because of the way it pops up, I can make some individual changes before it's sent out. It's called Hit 'em Up. I love that technology. I think it's like $5 a month, totally worth it. So just make sure you know how to categorize your sphere in your database so that you can find them the best way. Now, I want instead of because we don't have a lot of time, so we're not going to necessarily categorize our database now. I want you to make yourself have some homework. One, make sure that your all your contacts are going to be in command. Start categorizing them. I also like to use these categories, guys, and I'm really talking a lot about how to categorize people. It's because if not, you're just going to dump them in there, you're not going to find them. I also categorize people as VIP. VIPs are my top referral people. Like the people that if somebody says real estate, they're going to run them down and say, hey, you need to call Natalie. Why? Because if I have only tickets to something and I don't have that many of it, I want to pull up VIP, those are the ones I'm going to invite. I also tag people A, B, C, D. If I have a buyer that, yeah, maybe he wants to, maybe they don't, I actually categorize them like that. So I have different ways that I do it. You got to figure out what works for you. You can also ask ChatGPTs, how is a good way to categorize my sphere of influence in my CRM so that I can easily, market to them where I want to be able to easily find somebody. Okay. So figure out how you want to. But you build your sphere of influence day by day, guys. Every day I have one goal every day. Every day, my job is to get one lead, and I have to lead generate until I get one lead. If that's 5 minutes, if that's 5 hours, I need one lead a day, 5 days a week. I have a second one. I need to meet 5 new people every day. Now, how can I meet people when I'm not out? Social media. I have over 5,000 Facebook friends, and I would say that I probably only know 20% of them. So when my admin sends a happy birthday message out to everybody that's birthdays is on Facebook that day, I don't do it, my admin does. When they respond back, I'm going to respond back to them and start communicating. My goal now is to make sure that I can get their information to the database, find out a little bit more about them, and then start communicating with them through the database as well, not just Facebook. So you're going to build your sphere of influence, but you want to start it. So just go ahead and make sure that you get all of your contacts in there. Here's a bold law. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. So Bold is actually a training program that we have at Keller Williams. If you've taken Ignite, and then you get to a level where you have a lot of you have production, the next one you want to take is Bold, and it's really about mindset. The curriculum has changed quite a bit recently, but if you ever heard of Diana Kokoska, she's the one that wrote the original Bold. If you look over here, I have like 15,000 bold trophies and other trophies over here for taking bold that many times. It's life-changing, but this law is really, really, really special to me. Change the way you look at things and things you look at change. Every single time I'm like frustrated and I'm not getting any leads. I have nothing under contract. And I start focusing only on, I don't have nothing under contract. I have no leads. I have no buyers right now. I have no sellers right now. It just seems like everything just starts going negative. So I always change the way that I look at things and go, I'm so excited. I get to talk to people and soon I'm going to have more business to that. And I kind of change my wording and my mindset. And right away I start getting positive results, right? So it's the way you look at things. So even with lead generating, people go, I don't want to lead generate. I'm gonna go in here and start calling. Oh, they don't want to hear from you. They don't want to hear from me, and nobody wants to talk to me, right? It just puts things in a negative thing versus, hey, I get to talk to people and see how I can help and be of assistance for them every day. And right away, the energy level goes up, and their response to you is going to be different as well. So I love that bold law. So we want to look at, you have your sphere of influence, you have your basic one. How do you expand your sphere of influence? This is my jam. Like if I had like a great team that I could just be like, here, I give you these are the people I talk to, go and get the business. I would be so rich right now. See, the challenge I have is to follow through. I can go meet and add people. My challenge is to follow through and staying in touch. So expanding your sphere of influence, I'm going to give you a ton of different ways that you can do it. Today I'm gonna start just throwing them at you. So have your paper and pen ready. I know that you already have the curriculum in there. We're gonna go through the curriculum for sure, but I want to make sure I'm giving you all different ideas to do it. So you want to add more personal information to the contacts you already have and add new people in there. Okay. So not only if you data dump from your iPhone, for example, into a spreadsheet and spreadsheet into command, all you're probably going to have is the first name, maybe a last name and a phone number, right? Now you're going to need more information on them so you can start. So you're going to have to just ask. But the ask doesn't come sending a text and be like, hey, I'm a real estate agent now, and I just put your information in my database. Can you send me your email and your address? That's not good. I would say go ahead and pick up the phone and call. Hey, my name is Joe. We spoke, and well, let's say that you know them already, Joe. Hi, I'm Joe, and we've been knowing each other for a really long time, and I just want to let you know that I'm in real estate, and I want to make sure I'm a resource to you. And if you have any questions at all, make sure you lock my number in. But, how's everything been? I know that we played basketball together a while back. And then they start talking.
I schooled you.
Now, huh?
I schooled you in basketball.
School gym basketball. Um, the thing that we use is the Ford model. Okay. Did they talk about Ford yet? FORD. It's an acronym.
Yes.
Okay, good. So Ford stands for family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. Okay. So when you talk, you want to start asking them questions. Everybody loves to talk about themselves. So if you ask, hey, oh, it's the new year, how's everything? How was the Christmas holidays over the holidays for the kids? Oh, they were great, awesome. What do you have planned in the spring? Do you guys have anything big coming up in the summer? How's everything at the job? Any opportunities for you there? Like just ask them questions and they will give. And then you can slide in something like, I want to make sure that I'm giving you good information. And if they own a house, you make sure you tag them as a seller. Say, we have some great stats and data that I can send you monthly. It's called Neighborhood Snapshot. It's just an email that comes and it will show what's for selling in your neighborhood, what properties are on the market, and kind of give you an idea of what's happening in the neighborhood that you live in. Would that be okay? I'll send that. You can get it bi-weekly or once a month. You just let me know. Nine times and then they don't want to say once a month. I said, oh, great. Can I have your email? I'll set you up and send it to you. You set it up in command, and every month they get an email. Okay. So that's another way that you can get their email information. You already have their phone number. And then Instagram handle, or whatever social media, you could be like, hey, do you mind? I'm going to send you my social media handle. I want to make sure that we also connect because I love to see what people are doing and your travels and etc. Here's mine. Do you mind connecting with me or can I get yours? So if you ask in a way that doesn't sound like you're just wanting to get data, it always works much better. Strengthen your casual connections that you have. So like here's a picture of, parents in a soccer team. Oh, it's always fun to watch little kids play soccer. You might know them a little bit, but not having deeper conversations. So you want to start strengthening that by having some other extra conversations while you're on the sideline that is going to be leading into what they're doing, what they want, things like that. And then hopefully it will lead into stronger relationships and possible business from you. You can also join groups. Let me just give you something heads up. Do not start joining groups that you're not interested in. They're gonna smell the BS, guys. They're gonna smell the BS. Period. Because if you're not passionate about it, like I had somebody in my office, like, I'm gonna join this nonprofit, and then I can't remember what the nonprofit was. I was like, oh, I didn't realize you were interested in that. And they go, no, I'm not, but I just figured a lot of rich people would be part of that. So I'm gonna join it because I can start networking and building my business with a little bit more luxury clients. And I was like, yeah, that's not gonna go over well. So figure out what you're passionate about. Like I'm passionate about homelessness. So I sit on a board for homeless shelter for families here in Atlanta. 10% of I'm sorry, 1% of my gross commission income goes to them every year, right? So I'm part of that. That's my passion. And Meals on Wheels because the elderly, right? So I have joined groups and do things with those things because when we talk about it, they can see the passion behind it, right? So think about what you enjoy. I'm not going to go and join like a running club because I hate to run. That just probably wouldn't work, right? But figure out what you like and what you enjoy and then join those groups. Like I'm going to probably join some travel groups and because I'm always traveling, so having more conversations with people that travel. So
Hey,
figure
Natalie,
out what it is.
what about chambers of commerce and
Mm.
elks and all those, the animal clubs? I call them the animal clubs, elks and the moose and that
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Again, if you have, so this is what I would say about Chamber of Commerce, and don't let nobody else, don't tell anybody else said that. I think it's a waste of time and energy if you don't build strong relationships with people there, or if you don't get into a leadership position there. If you're just going to show up to their events here and there, you are there with 50,000 other real estate agents. Now, how can you set yourself apart? You go and get a leadership role. You're chairing a committee. You arrange some events. Then it would make sense. If you're just going to join it and just be a passive member, don't do it. Now, ELK and some of the other organizations, again, the people that get business are the people that build best relationships and more relationship. And normally when you're in leadership or you're kind of heavily ingrained and involved, you're going to get that. Now, you got BMI, the networking groups. And just so you know, you might want to check this out. It's called MBN, Millionaire Business Network, MBN. MBN is a networking group that is kind of built out by KW. Maps Business is what built it out, right? And I'm a Maps Business coach. I'm going to start an MBN here in Atlanta soon. And you can look it up. And the only requirement to start one, it's a close networking group, is it has to be a KW agent that started. But it needs to be a KW agent that has a real big, robust database. Even if you're newer and you don't have a lot of real estate business, but you may have come from another industry in your city and you have all these other business owners that it still will work, right? Because it's about network that you have there, and you literally get together once a month and you talk about how to build your businesses better and you start referring business to each other. So I think that joining groups are powerful. Just don't start joining so many that you can't make the one that might be fruitful for you. Because it's like anything else. You have to water that tree in any group that you join. So join something that you enjoy, right? Like if you don't like kids, don't join a group that has kid stuff with it, right? Like I'm one, I have my kids at like 23 and 28. I love kids, kind of, sort of not, but I do. But I don't want to be around them when I'm traveling or when I'm somewhere else. Like that's not what I want to do because I did that for like 28 years whenever they were younger, right? So you have to make sure that you get into something you like. Yes, Caroline.
I was also going to say, don't underestimate your friends' powers, especially if you have friends that are very social. They will be your biggest cheerleader. And sometimes, if you have friends that are super social, all you have to do is go to their events,
Yes.
and then you get to meet a lot of people. And since you're with them, that's an easy way in.
Yeah, and if you're on social media and you have friends that are like influencers and super like social like that, and they always post and they get so many likes because they're super cute, right? You make sure you do a video with them and then you tag them on it or make them a collaborator when you did the video. So now you get into their sphere as well, right? So yeah, definitely. If you have friends that are super social and stuff, I have a lot of friends like that. As a matter of fact, I'm having lead generation calls to my friendship group, and it goes a little something like this. Hey, I know I took 2 years off living in Barcelona part-time. I've still been serving my clients at a high level. You know that. You've referred me some business. I want you to know that I'm plugged in again. And so we have big goals this year, and I'm expecting you to help me with these goals. I want to make sure that we serve 43 families this year with my team. That means that I'm actually going to need you to make sure that you make the introductions to people that I should know, people that can refer me business, even if they don't necessarily want to buy or sell. Who do they know that they can put me in the groups and in the environments that I want to be in? And by the way, I'm looking for people that are making over 6 figures. Because the cost of living has gone up so much in Atlanta, the average house prices is gone up so much. I want to make sure I'm talking to and networking with people that actually have the financial ability to be able to buy a house. That's my conversation with my friends. And then the attorneys, I go, hey, when you go to attorney events and you get invited, if you get a +1, could you bring me? So, Derek, I don't have to join the attorney group and pay money. I'm just going to tag along and then be charming and talk to people and just maybe focus on meeting 5 people that I have real conversations with instead of just slinging my cards.
Sorry, I didn't even realize I switched back. My bad.
And so I'll just make sure that 5 is my number all the time. Like if I just leave a place and I have 5 good conversations with somebody and I get their information, my network was done at that point. Okay.
That sounds great. Thanks.
Then you can expand your sphere of influence. I talked about the branch, right? And you do a good job, and you're like, yes, yes, I did a good job. You got your house, awesome, excellent. Or I sold your house, yay, yay, yay. Hey, I love this is my script for referrals. There's this referral script, by the way. Yes, probably it's like never ending referrals. You might want to look into that. But I always say, hey, listen, it was such a pleasure to work with you. I'm gonna have total withdrawals now with not having to like you're not gonna be calling me every day, right? Who do you know that can replace you? I need somebody else just as amazing as you. So who do you know now that's been talking about, oh, you're buying a house, I want to buy a house too. Like I always say it like that. Unless they're horrible clients and I don't want their referrals, then I ease them out and I put do not contact DNC in our command. My admin can try to tell you, yes, that we have a lot of those in there. Like if you're just a bad person, I don't, even if you send me a referral, I'm not going to want to work it because normally 9 times out of 10, bad people know bad people. Good people know good people. It's not always the case, but I don't want to risk it. That's the benefit of having your own business. So you gather your leads from your sphere of influence. I'm building my business. Here are some scripts. I'm building a business of people I know, the people they know. Do you know anyone in group, friends, group belonging to? I don't like this one by who do you know that might want to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? I know this is a script that everybody always tells people to say. I think it sounds very salesy. And it's like if I just ask you, who do you know wants to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? It's not even making you think. You're like, just go all over. I like to ask things like, hey, so who do you know? Now, of course, I'm here to help people with any kind of real estate needs, right? But who do you know that's been complaining about the fact that their rent is so high and they're just making their landlord rich, right? So I'm asking them directly, who do you know that's renting currently? And they're going to go through the head of which one's out in an apartment, which one of my friends. And if they're like, oh, I have a few of them. Oh my gosh. Hey, do you mind connecting me? Because I'm going to have a home buyer seminar. And my goal is to show them how to go from renters to homeowners. And I would love to give them the blueprint on that. And on that, I could have potentially got 3 leads just by asking that one specific question. So think about the buy, sell, invest in real estate of how can you then say, I want to make sure that I'm here for all your friends and family on all their real estate related needs. But what I know is interest rates have come down now. Who do you know that's currently renting that you could make the introduction to? And if they say, oh, I got a ton of friends, okay. Do you think if we set up a little event, like maybe a Zoom, to give a little information, could you gather them all together and we can invite them and we can get on there and we can help your friends now build wealth via real estate? So I like to use those a little bit more when I'm asking for leads from that. If you hear of someone with real estate needs, really keep me in mind and let me know right away. Okay, so I'm going to scratch that script too, okay? If you know if anybody has their real estate needs, I would write this down, guys. Can you right away put together a group text with me and them introducing us? Because will
Got
you
it.
keep me in mind? Let me know right away. That means they're going to text me? No. When somebody says they have real estate needs, any time of day, I don't care if it's 2 in the morning, I got my phone on Do Not Disturb. I normally make a joke. I'm a joker. And I'm like, please, 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 because I want to serve 43 families this year. Can you please put together a group text and put it together? I promise you, I'm not going to start blowing their phone up. I'm going to go ahead and respond in a text and ask when it's a good time to call. And if they don't respond, I'll ask again. If they don't respond, I'm not going to stop bothering and blowing them up. I promise you. I understand that you gave me their information. I'm going to honor it. And when I've started doing that, I'm getting much more referrals than I probably would have ever. Somebody called like, "Hey, Nat, I think I have a referral for you." It doesn't work. And normally what also happens is like, "Hey, who do you know that might be renting that wants to buy?" And if say, "Oh yeah, my friend Sarah." "Oh, great. Do you mind putting me and Sarah and you in a group text and introducing me?" And let her know. And then I tell them, I'm not going to stop blowing Sarah's phone up. Ask her first if it's okay, and then I'll ask. So right away, that text comes through. I'll say, "Hey, so great to meet you. Thank you so much for connecting us. When is a good time for us to jump on a quick call?" That's how I then take the lead into the conversation. When I get on the call with them, then I get their information. I put them in my command. And if they do want to buy, they become an opportunity. Now I start nurturing that until I then get the buyer brokerage agreement signed. We start looking at houses, we negotiate the contract, go into contract, and now they become past clients and ask for referrals. You see how this keeps going around and around? Okay. All right. So because I'm a KW certified instructor, I need you guys to go and do a evaluation on me. Um, hey, Roma, this is not the one. Hold on, just wait. Hold on. I got it. I think that this may have been in the actual activity. Oh, there it is. No. Roma, what page am I on the wrong page on that?
Let me check. It's page 51.
I think
Oh,
the
there it is.
first one was
There it is. There it is. Okay, here we go. Here it is. Because my last name is a little difficult, just a little tad bit. It's from Finland. But I'm the only Natalie Vuoriaho in the world. So if you ever Google me, that's me. There's nobody else. My region is the Southeast region, and we're virtual. And this course is going to be, Roma, can you pull up the course? I think it's the lead, what is it? I think it's number 2. Let me
So
look.
you were Southeast?
Southeast region, yes. I'm in Atlanta. We're the Southeast.
This is Ignite 5, generate your leads, I think, but it would have to be qualified.
I think it is 2. I think in a book it's 2, but on here it's still 5. Yep, it's 5. Perfect. Generate your leads, 5. Awesome. All right, now we're gonna keep going, but I'm gonna take a quick break. I was right at 7 o'clock. Rocking and rolling, guys. Let's take a 5-minute break, bathroom break, running around, and then when we come back, we're gonna send out a few text messages and see if we can get some leads. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and go on mute. I'm gonna go on mute for a quick, and I will be back in 5 minutes. And if you see me on here, you have some questions. I'm not going to be going down line. I'm just going to run and get some water. But if you have any questions, come off mute when you see me and we can chat a little bit. Hey, Roma, go ahead and drop my information, my name, email, phone number, and
Okay.
then also our Instagram handle and in there too.
Mm-hmm.
My personal one, not the business one.
Sure. Let me just admit this. Hey, there's a question
Hmm. Oh, Caroline.
from Maria Highland.
Oh, all right. Okay. Caroline, yeah, definitely connect with me. You're Norwegian? I speak Finnish and Swedish fluently. That's so cool. Um, where's the question?
Hi, I just wanted you to put it back up, that QR code, so I could,
Oh,
you know
got
how
you.
you rate it, and I missed it that fast.
Oh, no worries, no worries. I
Yeah,
will put it back up.
thank you.
Uh,
A question from Shailesh. How to approach if buyer want how much money they need.
where's the, why are you laughing? Hold on. Let me just do this first because I think I just took off the sharing.
Yeah.
Share. Hold on one second. Let me.
She's asking how much you would need, how do you approach a buyer for how much money they need to buy a house? That's more like you get with your lender, like when you
Yeah,
buy
so
different
there's
steps.
no like one answer to that. This is what I always say. I start with a conversation. Like I don't, so this is the process I do buyers. Oh, you want to start home buying process. Super excited. There's nothing like start building wealth. Excellent. Let's have a conversation first about with a lender. So I don't even do a buyer consultation until I know that they have a pre-approval. Now, you need to make sure you have good lender list, and this is why. A good lender will ask them, how much do you want your monthly payment be? Not, let me see how much you can get pre-approved for. Pre-approved for is a setup for failure. If I would have listened to that lender in 2002, when I bought my house, and they qualified me for 900,000 when I was making $40,000 a year as a teacher, I would have lost my house during a housing crash. I went with a $170,000 house, and when the housing crash happened, I could still afford paying my $900 payment, not the $900,000 payment. So I'm giving you that as an example. So the first thing you want to do is then you want to connect them with your lender. That should always be a lender conversation. Now, what I will talk to buyers about is, well, I don't have my 20% down payment. You don't need 20%, right? We actually have 100% financing programs, but you will need some money because you need to put earnest money down. You will need to put, do the inspection. You need to pay for the appraisal. Sometimes if they have a 100% financing program and they get the grant money, they can get all that money back at closing. But they need to have some money to get started. If you have zero money, you cannot buy a house. Okay? Yes, Caroline.
Yeah, just a quick question. Is there anywhere that I can get the slides and so on? Because I
Sure,
can't see them.
absolutely. Roma, can you go ahead and load these slides up for somewhere in a drive or somewhere and then put a link in there for people to pull them? But wherever you put them, don't make it where they have to ask for permission. Just put it somewhere. She'll put it.
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
couldn't function without Roma. Yeah, that's
Also
my
in
girl right there.
also in Command, if you go into the learning, what is it, Connect, and if you search Ignite, it'll bring up all the Ignite stuff, and you can go to you can pull the actual slides for every session in there.
Hey, question for you, Stephen. Is it the same? Have you looked and see? Because I know that KW University just made the change for this, so I don't know if it's still the same on that. But yeah, but that is normally where you can find all that information.
Yeah,
That's
I looked today.
okay,
I
perfect,
did it.
awesome, excellent.
Yeah, but I don't have access yet, so we have.
No worries. Roma will get it to you. If nothing else, Caroline, you can go ahead and put your email in there and she'll just shoot it out to you. Email it to you.
Thanks so much.
All right,
Steven,
so
where do we look on command?
In your home page, if you go to connect, so right there where it says command, go over to connect.
Okay.
perfect. As a matter of fact, that's where you have a lot of data, a lot of information. Like if you went to a class like Win with Sellers or anything like that, you can go and pull it and have all the information you have in there. So if you're working on like a listing presentation that you're trying to make it better, you can kind of look at that information and see what's on there too. All right, so we're gonna rock and roll and keep it moving forward. You ready? Got 1 hour done, 1 hour to go. Then you guys get to go and have some food. All right, so lead generation best practices. So I'm trying to not find the right words and not make it sound bad. Okay, so here we go. You want me to just be 100% truthful?
Yes.
Not sugarcoat? Because that's
Yes.
normally how I
Yes,
keep
keep it
it.
100, please.
I mean, I know I'm on video and stuff, so I gotta be careful. Okay.
Yeah.
Go for it.
To me, there are not any real best practices for lead generation. It is kind of like the Nike slogan, which is
Just do it.
just do it. Where there is best practices is the scripts that you say and what you do afterwards. So to me, you can lead generate however you want to. There's no best practices. Calling expires is now better than calling sphere of influence or going to a happy hour or going to an event, networking event. Like your way of lead generation is whatever it is. What you need to do is set up a system that works for you. Now, when I was, and I'm working on revamping my system on when I meet new people, how do I keep track of things? Because like I said, I'm good high level, but not detailed. So I'm working on getting a little bit better at that. Now, you have to make sure you track your lead sources and look at where they're coming from to figure out which might work for you best. So if you have somewhere like you have a notebook or whatever, start writing down and tracking your info. So if you're calling your sphere of influence, put tick marks on, okay, I called 10 people. I connected with 2. I spoke to 1 and I got 0 leads, right? Then just keep 1 page for just your sphere of influence. Then go and track. I went out to a networking event. I spoke to probably like, and it's funny because it's hard to like know exactly, but you can kind of keep a track in your head and go, okay, I spoke to 15 people and I connected with 2 and I got 1 lead. Well, if you notice that and you notice that calling sphere of influence is not getting you leads, but this did, you might want to dive in and do more of that. Now, you don't want to just do one thing only. You want to make sure you diversify your database. So you want to lead generate and for different places to make sure that you have consistent opportunities coming in or leads coming in, right? Where I will say the best practices is this: do it however you want to do it. Have systems in place to make sure you stay in touch with them and be consistent. Don't lead generate 2 days and then don't lead generate for 5. Tokumbo, you have a question.
Yeah, hi.
Hey.
I'm from Keller Williams in Cherry Hill. And one of the things that works best for me is that every holiday, whether Easter, Muslim holiday, Jewish holiday, depending on my clientele that I'm addressing, I always send them a greeting. And I put from your favorite realtor, Tokumbo Ford. And I'll tell you, just texting, not even sending a Christmas list, always generates a minimum of 2 closings for me per holiday.
That's awesome. Takumbo, can you do us a favor since you have been so successful in it? In the chat, can you drop what you write as a
Okay, I'll send you
sample?
a sample of what I write.
Perfect. Yeah. And if you
Okay.
can, and if you want to send it to, if you already have it ready, because you might already have it
Yeah,
written.
I have a template for each, and I look
Perfect.
at, yeah. All right.
Perfect. So if you don't mind sharing, drop it in here.
I will
Chat.
definitely share.
And also send it to my admin. That way, guys, if you want it later, you can just send an email to me or send an email to my admin. So make sure you put Roma, put your information down there too. Takumbo,
Wonderful.
thank you so much for sharing. This is why I
You're
love
welcome.
you. This is
Bye-bye.
why I love it. We always share. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Quick
Yeah.
question on
And
that is are you doing that by handwritten or is that a through command stuff?
No, I just use my regular text. And if some of them are on WhatsApp, I put it on WhatsApp, the message.
So, Derek, just so you know, unless this has changed, and I'm gonna tell you all of you right now, I would not recommend, I love Command. I would not recommend sending text messages from Command. It does not show up as your number.
No, I use my phone.
No, I know you're from phone, but if you wanted to send a text message from Command, you can, but it doesn't show up as your number. So that's why we don't do it. It needs to make sure that it comes up as a number, like Tacombo sends it from her phone, because then it shows up as her. Like imagine you getting a personalized message from your favorite realtor and it's some random number that they've never seen and they're not locked in, right?
Okay. Well, I
That's
don't
why
want
I
to take
like.
too much time on this, but just real quick, I thought that Twilio thing did that. It
I
doesn't. I haven't used it yet. I
maybe we
just
did it
started.
wrong, but double check. I don't know if maybe they changed it because that was one of the negatives about it. So
Oh,
we've been
okay.
using, so that's why we use Hit 'em Up, which is an app. It's called Hit 'em Up, HITM Up, I think it is. And it's a green logo, and I can put all of my groups in there already. So when I Tacombo, like if she wanted to, she can put in her Jewish clients or sphere, her, all the different holidays, right? And so now when one of those holidays comes up, she can just pull up that list and then put that greeting in there and then start it with the app. And every time she can say send to everybody, and then it pulls in their name, or she can say individually, like they all come individually, but then it could come up and say, hey, Derek, wanted to wish you a Merry Christmas. But then I might want to add something for you, Derek, and go, hey, I saw you got a new puppy. I hope the puppy's doing well. Then they know it wasn't an automated or a mass text because you were able to do it. And with Hit 'em Up, you can. That's why I love it. It's amazing. It takes a little bit to set up, but once you have it, you can send messages that look so personalized and you don't have to sit there and look for people's phone numbers. So here's the thing. The one thing you need to make sure that you do, and this is where the lead gen gets the best, is you have to block your lead gen time. Now, we are being told in KW the best time is lead gen is 9 to 11. I'm not sure if that's true anymore. I also am not sure depending on who you call. The reason we say 9 to 11 is because we're normally fresh in the morning, right? But what I have learned is most of my clients, past clients, don't pick up 9 to 11. So I think that you have to kind of look at when do I get, that's why I said do the tick marks. Of if I call 10 people, how many picked up? Write down when it was. If you notice that you get more pickups on a Saturday, maybe switch your legion to Saturday. Because ultimately it's about people picking up. Sometimes I say it's not even about people picking up because sometimes they text me and go, hey, I'm at work, I can't talk. What's up? And I'm like, hey, this was just a business call. Just wanted to find out if you knew anybody that had some real estate needs, or if I could be a resource. Do you need any vendors? I'm back in the saddle, and I can text it all if I wanted to. But you have to figure out what time might work best for you. But just make sure you block that time out. You have to prepare for it. You don't start lead generating like I have lead gen tomorrow at 9 o'clock in my calendar. I don't go and show up at 9 o'clock and go, who am I calling? So you kind of want to prepare for it. So the day before, you want to pull the list that you want to call, not when you get, or get there early, 8:30 to go ahead and get it. So if you start at 9, you already start. You're going to practice some of your scripts that you're going to use. You have your call set. You get your mindset ready. Like I get to talk to people. I get to help them. Not I'm having to lead generate, right? I stand up when I lead generate because I get more energy that way. And then take action on your conversations. So here's the script that I use a lot, especially when I call friends or my sphere of influence that know me. As you can tell, I'm a talker, but when I'm lead generating, I don't want to talk. I want to get to the point. So I start my conversations like, hey, this is Natalie. How are you? Good. Listen, this is a business call. Do you have a minute? Right? When they hear that, they'll go, oh, yes, if they do. Now they know I didn't just call to shoot the crap and see what's happening next weekend and what we doing, right? I'm asking, it's a business call. So they know I'm going to be quick to the point. Well, I just want to double check, see how your holidays went. Da da da. It went very great. I noticed your son got into college. Da da da. That's exciting. Hey, listen, I was giving you a call to let you know that this year we're working on helping 43 families with their real estate needs. And I was just wondering because interest rates just dropped down. Who do you know that's currently renting that we can that you can connect us with, right? Or I go, I know your son is getting ready to graduate. Who else do you know that's getting ready to graduate and is talking about downsizing? Like I'm asking for specific things that they can see and look for. So then when they start looking at it, when they're over there talking to other parents that kids are graduating going off to college, if they say the word, oh, it might be downsizing, they'll remember that, right? And then you have to maintain. So that's the database and the follow-up and making sure you're systematically communicating with them. This is what you also need to do. Like you guys see, we have these wonderful, beautiful new doors because they just did a renovation in the office. Um, I have a little sign that I put on the door now when I lead generate because I'm building a bunker. When I'm lead generating, I don't care what's happening out there. I need them to not interrupt me. So I have a thing that says I'm working on my one thing. It's a one thing lit, and they know it's lead gen. I do store provisions. So like I normally have some water, I have my snacks, and I do what's called 45-minute go. So I'll go hard for 45 minutes and then I'll go stretch my legs and get a little bit of break. I make sure that my phone is on do not disturb even though I'm making calls, if somebody calls me back, I'm looking at my phone anyway, so I'll see it probably come through potentially as a text or whatever if they say I'm gonna call you back. But I put that because I'm getting so many spam calls of do you want to buy leads, insurance, car warranties, all the spams that I don't have time for that. So I do put it on do not disturb. And then I enlist support. So I like having other people that I lead generate with. So, like when my team, if she's not here, we get on a Zoom call. I can see her lead generating, I'm lead generating, and we can see each other moving and talking. It gives me a lot more energy, and it makes me have to get in front of the computer at 9 because somebody else is getting on it at 9 too to make sure. So I like to have a group lead generation setting because that means that I'm going to have to show up instead of just swiping and doing it later. All right, let's hit some ahas.
I really like you calling lead generation the Nike ad of just doing it. I feel like I get crippling anxiety when I have to think about lead gen, and I will just like let it foster in my brain all day instead of doing it. And, no, not to brag too much, but I did decide to just pull the band-aid off, and I've been doing some lead generation while we've been sitting and talking today. And yeah, just doing it is the only way to get it
Right.
done.
I mean, like not doing is gonna definitely not getting your results, right? And so it's all about mindset, really is. So I'm so glad that you shared that with us, and great, because that's what we're about to do next. I want you to look through your phone. I want you to take at least 5 people and I want you to write them a text message. Okay, I don't know if you're a new agent, experienced agent, or whatnot. You can even just say, hey, you just crossed my mind, because you did, because you saw their name, right? And say, I just want to wish you a happy new year and see how your new year is starting off, right? And just start a little bit of a conversation with them. I don't recommend that when you're sending a text to somebody that you start with, hey, just want to see if you have any real estate needs in 2026. It just comes off not very salesy. But go ahead and send 5 text messages to somebody. Ask them a little bit about them. Odds are when you ask them about them, what are they going to ask about you? Same thing. Well, how's your year starting off? Well, interestingly, I'm actually just taking an Ignite class just to polish up and get even better at real estate. As a matter of fact, I hope you know that I'm in real estate and I would love to be of assistance if you have any questions. I know this market and what you hear in the news right now about the real estate market and interest rates, all of it is not really true. So I want to make sure I'm the resource to you. Whatever you want to say, right? But you need to text 5 people. So whatever you want to text, you can. Now, what you can also text is this. Hey, I'm taking a real estate class right now with Keller Williams. We have a quick competition. Can you help me? And when they say yes, who do you know that's currently renting that you think might want to become a homeowner? To the point. If you say you're doing a competition, it doesn't feel bad that you went straight to the point. So here are you two. You want to come in soft or you want to come in hard? Pick. So we're going to send 5 messages because I'm going to do the same thing and see who I can get. Thanks, Roma.
Hey, Natalie,
Yeah. Hmm.
can you repeat the second part?
The
This.
second part, hey, I'm taking a training class, a real estate training class with Keller Williams right now. We have a competition to see if we can get, well, we have a competition going on right now. And you don't even have to say what it is. Who do you know that's currently renting that might want to become a homeowner? Or you can even say, if you don't want to say that, you could just say, who do you know that might want to buy or sell real estate in 2026? I just like to say that because right now, I don't know what market you're in, but I would probably rather pick up buyers than sellers right now. I need more things under contract, and buyers have a lot more opportunities because we have a lot more inventory now than listings do. So I'm asking for buyers because I know that they're coming out of the woodworks and there's opportunities to get them under contract fast. So that's the only reason I'm focusing on that.
Okay. Thanks.
If I could jump in, I like the part about asking them for their help. I think that's a good part to add in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I don't know if one thing about me, I come up with scripts in my head and then I don't write them down all the time. And people are normally in my office when they're like, hey, do you have a script for this? I'm like, yeah, they all just take their phone out and record it because if I have to say it again, I don't always remember. Yeah, asking for the help. It makes people always want to help. And if they do respond, then you're going to ask them like, "Hey, do you mind connecting us via three-way, or do you mind giving that information to me?"
Okay. It says we're doing a competition. This. Yeah.
All right. So I sent messages as well, and things are dinging back. I used Hit 'em Up, so I just sent 120 text messages. Okay. And people are starting, it's on Do Not Disturb. People are starting to respond back. And what I said was, Happy New Year. I hope your year is starting off great. How are you doing? We're going to have some events this year, and I hope to really see you. I haven't seen you because I didn't do any events last year. So I'm ready to let them know I have some events coming up. So something like that. So, all right. Anybody have any stories of who you texted and the responses? Something that was positive. Did you get a lead? Did somebody send you something?
I
Getting
don't
some
have a lead yet, but
responses.
I was going to share a quick story though, and
Yep.
but it's from the other end. When I was in a different position 2 years ago, I had a very public promotion, and I got a card from the realtor saying, "Congratulations on the promotion. If you ever need my services." And a year later, I needed to move, and that was the guy I called.
See, it was a handwritten note.
Handwritten note,
Tell you,
and I
handwritten
kept
notes
it,
are
and it's
gold
just what
mine.
you guys said.
Yeah, handwritten notes are gold mine. And where can you find out people getting promotions and stuff? Yes, handwritten notes are great, but if you don't have the address, if you see somebody has a promotion or they put that on the on social media, shoot them a text or even at least a DM, right? So it's always people want to see that you saw something great that they did or they were recognized. Okay, so anybody else had any? Are you getting responses?
So I have a client who I'm a huge Steelers fan. They're from Pittsburgh. They're a huge
Girl,
Steelers
me
fan.
too. Can we not talk about it?
So I texted her and I said, "All right, well, if any of your Pittsburgh people are ready to move back here to
Ah,
North Carolina, you know who to tell them to call." And
Coach
she
Tomlin
said,
already
"For real
stepped down.
though."
That's a great, listen, let me write this down. I need to hit up all my little friends up there and see, or all the real estate agents that are over in Pittsburgh and ask like, hey, if you got anybody moving, because the Steelers ain't doing well and Tomlin is stepping down, come
Yeah.
to Atlanta, send me a referral. That's actually a really good one.
Yeah. So,
That
I mean,
helps.
you could do that with any football team, but it's that way you keep it light.
Yep, I love it. And see how you slid in some real estate in between there?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Well done. See,
Thank you.
guys, lead generation doesn't have to be hard. Like, if you send just 5 messages right now when we were here, like, I want you to be plugged in while you're taking class. But honestly, it's not hard. It's not hard. You just got to do it. You do it and you get results. And if you don't get results right away, just keep doing it, and the results starts popping in. I haven't got too many leads. I'm so behind on my leads this time. But you know what? I took 3, 4 weeks off in December. I went to my apartment in Barcelona. I went to Paris. I went to Malta and I went to Sweden to see my family. So, I mean, it's going to take me a second to build it up, but I'm just going to do it. Every day I'm going to lead generate, and soon it's going to start dropping. It's going to start coming in. So, you just got to pick it up and just stay systematic on how you do it to make sure that you get it done. So, our hustle achievement. We talked about lead generation today. We talked a little bit about how to go about it. I've given you a lot of different ways that you can tag things and how you can look at people that's outside of Ignite. But how has your thinking changed? What ideas or mindsets were new? Like when you're leaving in the next 30 minutes, right? What are some of the things that have changed for you? Nothing?
Just feel more motivated and excited to lead generate. The
Right.
energy is up. We've been talking about it all day. I went to a class earlier that some of our agents had taught locally and in
Uh-huh.
person, and we talked about lead generation, and they gave ideas. The two instructors, and they're here now participating in this class. You're talking about it, so it's all day lead gen,
All day
and
lead gen.
relationship management. So I'm just ready to go.
I love that. And I think that we are the worst industry when it comes to lead gen. Real estate agents, we have such a block for lead gen. Like you was like, oh, I'm getting ready to go lead gen. Like if I say that in the office, most times like, oh, good luck. Like we have this negative way of it, but it's like it's all about how you look at it. You
Right.
have the luxury to talk to people to see how you can help them. So, a lot of times we don't want to bother people, but I mean, you're not bothering people. You're offering up a service. You're there if they need you. We have all these vendors we can refer them. I mean, I refer more non-real estate related vendors than probably real estate related vendors to people. Right? But I feel like I'm helping them. And if I help them, guess what? They need my services, they're going to think of me. If they need real estate, they're going to think of me. So it's a two-way street, right? So what do you feel
Right.
differently about it? What was meaningful for you today? And you don't have to all answer if you don't want to, but just kind of jot it down. I'm big on like journaling now. And how do you feel different? I know Lori, you said you're excited about it, right? Because you've been talking about Lead Gen all day. I might as well go
Right.
do it now, right?
I mean, I
Right. And I feel
prospected.
more comfortable now because I've received so much, like so many tips, so many ways to reframe what we're asking or how to kind of gently and subtly, go into that conversation and understanding that we do care about people. And if you put that first, which is what I've heard
Right.
all day, like, put that first, like take care of people and the business will come.
Right, it
You
does.
build a relationship, the business will come. So that's the takeaway.
And I will say this. Remember I said don't join the organization stuff just to get leads. Like they're gonna read through it. Same thing there. Like if you pick up the phone and you truly come from a place of contribution and don't just try to be salesy, they're gonna respond, right? So it's all of just being authentic for who you are. And listen, if you're newer, like it's okay to say you're new, but then you have to say, but we are here to serve you. Just so you know, like I have agents, new agents that will use my company, Vodia Real Estate Group, like, hey, I work with Natalie V and she's always there helping out. So you're not just getting me, you're getting her as well, right? And then when you have questions, you ask questions. So what I will say this though, Laura, you said you've gotten a lot of different scripts, a lot of different things. This is where we sometimes fail as real estate agents. We try to do so many different things instead of like picking a few and mastering them. That's why I said go ahead and start doing tick marks and seeing where you're going to get the most results and then lean into that. I will say that I'm a true believer that you need three pillars that you need to lead generate from three. Yes, everybody should have sphere of influence, right? But then you need to pick a couple of other ones. And one of them should be where you're meeting people that you've never met before, right? So somewhere out in public, right? So open houses, for examples, right? Or if you like to be on a phone, expires and FISBOs, right? There's going to be something else that you do, and then you need to have at least three. Now, your scripts, I think, are important. You want to make sure that I've given you some script, you've heard some scripts from everywhere else. Whatever script you're going to use, master it. Not word by word, but the main points so it sounds like you. So every time when you start using them, use the same scripts. I have scripts in my head that, if somebody says, well, what's going on with the interest rate right now? Is this a good time to buy? You know, is real estate crashing? Are we going to have are we going to have a crash like before? I feel like it's coming. I'm going to wait. Like I have scripts in my head for all of it. As you're talking to people, start writing down some of their questions. Start writing down things, and you can even ask, hey, I'm just curious. What are some of the things that you want to know about real estate right now? I just want to make sure I'm giving in the right information. And then write down what they say. Those are basically your points that you want to talk to people about when you lead generate, right? Everybody wants to know what's going to happen with the economy. We don't have a crystal ball, but we do know the interest rates just dropped, right? How will your behaviors be different going forward? Are you still going to swipe your Legion away or are you going to keep it there and honor it? So think about what are you going to do differently going forward and what actions are you going to take to make sure that you can hold yourself accountable. Now, I will tell you right now, I love the fact that we have so many people on here. If I were you, there's been a few of you that are talking. I would lean in on a couple of people in this Ignite. I don't know if you have a list or a roster. If you want to put somebody down there and say, hey, I want to get accountability group on lead generating, put it on there and just you guys pair up, partner up. My Legion when I first started my real estate was definitely through Ignite. And those people that I did my accountability group with, to this day, we're like best friends because we started building our businesses together. So even though this is national and you guys are in different cities or whatever, you can jump on a Zoom and lead gen together or say, hey, I made 15 contacts today. How many did you make? I'm lead generating today that So find some accountability partners. That's going to help you make sure that you stick to it. And the next question is, what tools, models, and systems will you use? And how will they make you accountable? I do believe systems, tools, and models are there, but also make sure people are there. So if you don't have command yet, I would highly recommend you go and set those things up. And if you're waiting for them to set them up for you, start sending them emails every day and saying you're in Ignite and you need to get in there. And then what systems are you going to set? Like, all right, I'll give you this. Here's the daily success system that we used to have and use in Ignite all the time. You probably saw this yesterday, yeah?
Yes.
Right? So every day you should have 10 conversations, 10 contacts added, 10 handwritten notes, 10-5-1. Can somebody tell me what the 10-5-1 in social media engagement is?
10 likes, 5 comments, and 1 direct message.
Yeah. And so I do 5-5-5. We do direct message, and the reason our direct message is more than just one, and I don't do it. My admin sends happy birthday messages on Facebook to anybody because Facebook shows that up first thing in the morning when you go. I don't know if you knew that. That's a great time to be, hey, I just want to wish you a happy birthday. Sometimes they don't respond until 3-4 days later and like, I'm so sorry, I just saw this. Oh, thank you so much. We use the same happy birthday greeting for a whole year and then we change it. So everybody gets the same greeting. She just copies and pastes it. When they respond back, that's when I kick in. That's when I start chatting with them, right? If you see somebody that's mentioning, oh, I just got a new job, I'm relocating over there, you definitely want to get in their DM and start having conversations. Oh, that's so exciting, da da da. What are you going to do with your house over here? If you need some help, let me know. All right. Just keep in mind that we do have a do not call list. So if you do call expires and FISPOs, you have to scrub them. All right. Here is a quote. Somebody read it for me, please. I'm tired of hearing myself.
I engage with the conversation in the spirit of contribution, and people are happy to be in relationship with me.
Loretta, I like how you said with me. Look, right?
With
I
me.
mean, it's really, that's what it is. We should come from a place of contribution. And so this to me is an affirmation. And you can say this right before you start making calls or right before you lead generate. I engage every conversation in a spirit of contribution, and people are happy to be in a relationship with me. Like, it is a blessing when I call people in my sphere of influence to talk to them about what's going on in their lives. They're going to want to hear from me and then offer any services that they might need help with because I'm here to help them out. Like, I truly believe that. And it makes it so much easier when you pick up the phone and they can feel and hear you. We're not going to do role play just because of the fact that we're obviously in a big class. These are the ones that we do when we do the longer ones, the longer classes. All right, so you have to prepare for your next session, which is grow your database. And I wanted to get through the curriculum a little bit faster because I was told that some people drop off towards the end because this is not a CE class. So I want to make sure we got through the curriculum, but we're still going to stay on. And then I'm going to open it up to just kind of talk about this Legion. And you can ask me any questions and I can give you some insight that's a little bit extra that's outside of Ignite as well. But the next session is going to be grow your database. So as you prepare for that, think about when is your next class? Is it tomorrow? It's tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, okay. So let's talk a little bit about tomorrow. When you leave your house tomorrow morning, how many people do you think between tomorrow morning, if you're going out somewhere, to tomorrow night, how many people on average do you interact with? Strangers. Just roughly. Somebody yell out a number.
20.
20. If you found a way to have a conversation with them that comes from a place of contribution and somehow slides in real estate, imagine how many leads you would get a day. John, your brain is going, I see it. I'll give you an example. When I used to have a car, I sold my car. Long story, I just hate to drive in Atlanta. I just do Uber and rent a car. But when I used to have a car, I would always have to go and fill up the gas tank because Atlanta, you drive all the time. While I'm pumping gas in the morning, and the person pumping gas beside me, I will always start a conversation. It will go something like this. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired of pumping gas. I really think I want to get an electric car. And I'm talking first to say, hey, how you doing? Whatever. And they go, really? And then they'll say something like, oh, I was like, I feel like I fill the gas tank up every day. And they go, well, dang, how much do you drive? What do you do? Is normally what comes after that. And I go, ha, funny you said, I'm in real estate. So driving around all of the city, showing different houses and going to listing appointments. I swear it, my car is a gas guzzler. Is your car better? Right? And then they go, oh, okay, no, no, no. And then now they know I'm a real estate agent. Now, a lot of times when I did that, when I was on the gas station, I would get the information, hey, as a matter of fact, do you own a house or are you maybe looking to buy? Oh no, I'm not ready to buy yet. Okay, I have a home buyer seminar host. Do you mind if I give you my information? And then they say yes. I actually text them the invite to the home buyer seminar. It's an Eventbrite link. Now I got their phone number. That's one. People in your building, you could always like, oh, I can't believe I have to wear this suit today. Now I got to go to this listing appointment. I mean, there's always stuff you can say, like just to bring up real estate. Be creative, have conversation, ask people how they're doing, what they're doing. And out of the 20 people that you interact with, John, if you find creative ways to let them know that you're in real estate, I'm not big on, hey, I'm in real estate, here's my card. That doesn't really work, I don't feel like. It's more of like come from a place of contribution. That's why we do wealth building seminars, home buying seminars, because 9 times out of 10, people are going to want to do those two things. If you're a seller, I mean, you own a home, you might want to build wealth via your home, right? So anytime I start a conversation, I'm like, hey, I'm a heavy real estate team here, and our mission this year is to help people build wealth. Is there something that you might be interested in? And if they go, nobody's going to say, no, I don't want to build wealth, right? Now, I might say, well, do you mind if I send you the link to our seminar? We're going to go through all kinds of ways to building wealth, but one we're going to focus on is real estate. And if they say yes, I text it to them. I got their information. Okay. So think about how when you meet new people tomorrow, how can you get those 10 new people that's going to go in your database? Because it has to be when you're out, or it has to be on your Instagram, or I mean, social media. Because if they're in your phone, they're not new people. They're already in your phone. Okay. All right. Let me get out of here. Close this out. And we are going to chat the last 10 minutes. All right. Anything and everything that has to do with this part of Ignite, hit me.
So you talked about growing your database, and my brother is a police officer, and I recently did a ride along experience with my brother.
Okay.
You don't have to. Police officers, it's not just a stereotype. They literally love donuts. It's not just a stereotype. And they love in Detroit, they love Dutch Girl donuts. And so that's supposed to be the best donuts in Detroit. And so I brought donuts for each shift. And now I have a ton of new people for my database because of donuts. And I can't, it wasn't even my brother didn't talk me up. It was just I brought the donuts, I put a thank you note on the top, and that was it. So
I love that. I love that. As a matter of fact, it's funny you said that. I had a real estate agent here in our office that the firefighters, they love, right? And so show them some love by showing up and bringing them something because they get tired of the stuff they have over there. And firefighters, same thing. Like they take care of the community. Police officers take care of the community. So doing things like that are great. Now, if you have an into something like that, I would even take it to the next level. I would probably see, hey, is there some wealth building seminars, things like that you can do? And then tap into that and say, hey, I want to help you guys with this, right? And then, just offering a knowledge and education. And if he has an in, like I love HR directors.
mhm.
Anybody in HR, like any of my clients or past clients, I've gone into their companies and done home buyer seminars and wealth building seminars. It is a captured audience, and the company will even pay for their food because this is an extension of what HR will do it. So my next question for my friends that after we get through this first round of, hey, I want to sell 43, is going to be, who do you know that's in HR? Because I want to get in front of offices. One, if the HR people like me, they're going to send me anybody that's getting ready to relocate, right? Two, I have the access to being able to go and offer seminars over there. So that's a good one too. So yeah, okay. So now we know they like donuts. Got it. Understood.
But the lieutenant actually talked me up, and I was able to do like a home buyer education seminar on a separate day. And it was just because of donuts. They liked the donuts, so I did a home buyer education seminar on a separate day. So I didn't leave it there. I talked to the lieutenant. The lieutenant, he brought me in, he introduced me, and it was awesome. I would have never thought it was just one precinct in Detroit. So there are many precincts in Detroit. I just was at the
What I
10th
would
precinct.
recommend too is go ahead and talk to some lenders to find out what kind of programs they have specifically for first responders, which they fall into that category. And I would
Oh, yes.
marketing
We're
material.
going back on January 28th.
There you go. Create some marketing material and then try to make sure that that gets out there as well.
Yes.
I will say this. I am going to get ready to start doing teaching nationally. If you have a pretty big office in a bigger town that we fly directly to, because I don't like to have connecting flights, feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to put my information here and connect me with your team leader because I would love to come and teach in offices that are not in Atlanta. Uh, you know, uh, Zoom is hard, but I do it. But I love doing it in person because it's a totally different feel. All right. Any other questions or ahas?
Quick question about your texting app. Does it show a different phone number?
It does not. Great
Oh.
question, Maria. That is why. And when I tell you, I went through so many different apps trying to figure it out. It shows up as my number.
That's
And once
awesome.
I set them up, set all the groups up, then it's so easy. So I'm actually now I only have my past clients. It's called Hit 'em Up. Let me show it to you. It looks like this. Hit 'em up.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna actually go and set up even more groups now. Why? Because I'm gonna start texting and I'm back plugged into my business. And instead of sitting there looking for people, I want to go ahead and have them ready to go in groups. So I'm gonna have my buyers, my sellers. So I'm gonna set all of those things up so that as soon as I have something come, so interest rates dropping or something, I can send them that. It's just a great app. It's sometimes it's worth paying for something when it's gonna make your life easier. So, and I don't get any money off of Hit 'em Up. I just love it because I don't want to sit there and copy paste. And I just put that message in there. You can even add an image, right, as well. So, Derek, you had a question. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you have another question?
Well, does it show up as like a CC or does it just the
No, it
person
shows up
thinks?
as a regular text.
Nice.
Regular text. So just what I will say is just watch how how do you normally text people? Do you put your name on it or not? I don't put my name in the bottom of text, but if you have that, make sure that you do it exactly like that so it looks like it's from your phone. Like if I were to put Natalie Borrejo on the Hit 'em Up, they're gonna be like, you never put your name when you send me a text, right? So just make sure that you can. Yep, and Jennifer said you can text yourself to see, but it does send it from your phone number.
Great. Thank you.
Yes, Derek.
It's a follow-up to this conversation, if you don't mind, which is one of the things you were talking about was worrying about the details afterwards and how are you just going in afterwards, you get a response and then plugging into command and doing your follow-ups in there? Because that's one of the things that they're expressing. I'm not active yet. I just got my license literally the other day. And so playing with command, one of the things they're talking about in the videos is the calls that come in through Twilio and the calls you make out and all these kind of things all get logged so that when you're busy, keep up? How are you managing that?
So when I call my clients from Command, I use the Command app and I actually call them from Command. And when I call them from Command, after I hang up, it pops up a thing that says, "Do you want to log this?" And I say yes. And then I'm putting in that in. I don't, so if you have a Command app, you can click on it and it will actually call it out. I'm just not good. I don't like that one just because I don't know what numbers pop up and they may have changed it, but my calls normally come from Command when I call it. Unless I'm using a dialer. If I use a dialer, then what I normally do, because I have leverage, I'll take a picture of things of who I called, and my admin will be on Zoom, and she'll take the notes for me. But normally when I call my sphere of influence, I use the Command app. Um, I use the Command app and I actually, log into Command, and from there, it actually lets me exactly click to call. So I pull up my tags on my list, or actually, I pull up the list that my admin tagged me to call, and then I go one by one by one. But every time I finish, it tells me that. Daniel, you're welcome. Any other questions?
I
Yeah,
have one. Natalie, thank you so much. This has been great tonight. Thank you.
excited.
And, I really appreciate it. So when you were talking about homebuyer seminars, I have never done that before. How do you get the literature, get it set up? Like how are those steps? And maybe this is an offline question. Maybe everyone else has been doing it. I've never done one and I've heard people talk about it, but how do you get that in, you
So you
know?
know what we can do? I don't mind setting up a separate, like maybe a 20-minute Zoom call. My admin can set it up
Okay.
for Friday, and I can
Okay.
kind of walk through how I've done it. If there's anybody else that would like to jump on it, just go ahead and send an email to my admin,
Okay.
and give her your name. And let me tell you a time now, because then that way we're committed. Yeah, I think that's going to be the best way. I can explain it. I actually have I used to teach a class here in my office on how to run home buyer seminars. So I'll just kind of do that and I'll run it through it in 20 minutes. Um, okay, there's my information, but send it to my admin. Don't send it to me because she's going to be the one that sends it out. Let's do Friday at let's do Friday at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Roma, go ahead and set up a Zoom Friday for 1 o'clock this Friday, January 16th, and just put learn about home buyer seminars, and then you can send an invite to everybody
So you
for
said
that
1 p.m., so that's Eastern Standard Time,
Eastern Standard Time. Yeah.
so 12 noon Central. Got it. Thank you.
She's gonna send you an Eventbrite most likely. That's normally how we kind of track things. And she knows how to do it, but she'll take your email and invite you to it.
Is this Friday?
This Friday, yeah. I'm one of those that if you're gonna do something, do it right away. I will record it, okay? I'll record it. Roma, make sure we record it. And so if you can't make it, you can just send an email to Roma on Monday and she can send it to you. That's what I love about KW. We are always here to help out.
That's
Look, I
the
just want to
truth.
see you successful.
Absolutely.
You guys know the stats, right? 80% of real estate agents don't make it after first year. So I want you to be like the class that ends up not falling into that 80. I want us to have much higher numbers than that. But I will tell you this. Somebody actually put in there earlier, like when you're lead generating too, referrals are big, right? So as you're talking to people, it's like, oh no, I don't have anybody that is looking to buy. I actually just moved to Chicago. And then you can say the words, oh, if you're in Chicago, not a problem. If you ever have real estate needs there, I have great partners in Chicago I can refer to. And therefore I can still be part of the conversation to make sure that you're taken care of, right? If you have somebody that's moving to Atlanta, don't forget about me. Make sure you lock me in. Okay. I'm here. And John Ford in Virginia says, if you have preferred partner like a lender, ask them to co-brand their marketing material. Yes, my lender is doing that for us for a listing that's coming out for sure. So, co-branding material as well is great. If you're hosting a home buyer seminar, we'll cover that. I actually always have a lender come on, jump on. You can do it in person, you can do it in Zoom. I normally say do both, right? Because some people may not make it, but it's all about just I say if you do it via Zoom and only one person shows up to actually physically, but you still did it in Zoom and you recorded in Zoom, you can still use it. So when you meet somebody new, you could be like, hey, I did a home buyer seminar. I don't have another one coming up until 2 months, but if you want to, I can send you the link so you can learn it. And then we can have a conversation about how to make you start building wealth, right? All right, any other questions? And I'm not rushing off. I just want to make sure I honor the time. But yeah, I'm here. You guys are welcome. You're welcome. I hope you got a lot out of it. Real estate is one of these things, guys. If you do it and you plug in, you stay disciplined, and you take learning, you learn your scripts, you can make it and you can do it. It's just that majority of the people don't want to. Majority of people don't have the discipline to do that. So if you're willing to do it, you're going to end up being really successful. I have over a decade in real estate, and I can't believe it because I'm telling you, when I first started, I didn't think it was going to happen. I remember laying on the couch crying and being depressed because I had no paycheck coming in, right? But it could happen. You just got to go plug in and just do it. And my favorite Nike slogan. Thank you so much. I'm glad you guys felt like I had good energy and a lot of energy because at Zoom, I always feel like it's kind of like, I try to keep people alive. So awesome. Well, I'm so glad you guys had a good time. I will be teaching in this quarter 2 as well. I'm going to try to do some more. But if you want me to come and teach in your office, let's have a conversation. Shoot me an email or my admin an email because I'm definitely wanting to come up north, Canada and stuff. I'll come when it warms up a little bit, okay? I don't do cold weather no more. My body can't take it. But definitely want to come in and do some more online, I mean, in-person classes. Molly, you have a hand up.
Hi, Natalie. Sorry for a last minute question. First of all,
anytime, girl, anytime.
And Roma, you're absolutely amazing. I think the question really is just how effective, like how are you able to work with Roma? Like what are some things some major things that you're delegating to her? Because I think that's something that as a new agent, just thinking in the future for myself.
Amazing. So I have a leverage class that I wrote, and I'm actually writing a book on that because I actually only work. Last year, I only worked 5 hours a week. I didn't even really work that. Now I've kind of run a business where I don't work more than 20 hours a week. I do the 20%. I leverage everything else out. I have a showing assistant. I don't really drive around for 2 hours to show a house. I have a showing assistant for that. So I have a leverage class on that. I would say that the first thing that happens is you just need to go lead generate. When you get too busy, get a transaction coordinator. That's the first thing. Hand off transaction coordinating. You still do everything else. And then after that is an assistant. Roma is a virtual assistant. She's actually in the Philippines. So it's in the middle of the night over there. And I use her through a company called Cyberbacker. It doesn't work for everybody. It works for some people. It works for me because I'm not in just my office and I don't do a lot of, stuffing things, but I also leverage that out as well. The new agents in my office, they're getting ready to come and stuff my New Year's Happy New Year's cards and mail them out, and I pay them $15 an hour to do it. Because there's certain things that I'm just not gonna do anymore because I need to be doing the things that's gonna get me money. That's not gonna get me money. So as you start getting busier, transaction coordinating, you don't do paperwork. Once you get them under contract, you hand it off. Okay. Then after that, then the conversation becomes, what's my next leverage? And it's normally an assistant. How do I leverage that out? I wouldn't worry about it if I were you as a new agent. When you start getting busy, then you start looking into it. Okay. And then just reach out to me because I'm going to start teaching the leverage class probably every 2 months. And it's going to be on Zoom because I want to create a whole community around it because I'm passionate about it. I don't believe in the way that real estate used to be, where we actually are working 80 hours a week and we don't have a life balance. I have a life balance. Like I'm big on that. So if I can teach people and help people how to do it, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, I'm getting close to that point right now.
You are, John?
Yeah.
Okay. I actually have I don't know when we're working on setting it up. I do have that leverage class, I think, coming up in February. So yes. The company is Cyberbacker. If you're interested in hiring them, reach out to me first. I'll connect you with an onboarding agent over there. I think that you get discounts because I've been with them for a while. I think that they actually give a discount if I refer in business for them. But yeah, remember though, lead with revenue. Okay. So, like a lot of people make this mistake. They get so busy and they go and hire an admin and then they go and have lunch with their friends. So they don't now lead generate, and then next thing you know, they don't get business anymore because they didn't lead generate because they're like, oh, I don't know, I don't have any. Oh, they can do that, and then they have to fire them, right? So I always laugh. I said even when I wasn't, making a lot of money because I wasn't really working my business, I would pay Roma's salary before I paid my mortgage. That's how valuable Roma is to me. I would like, if I don't have a sale, Roma gets paid first. Roma, she knows. Because I know she must have looked at sometimes like, we haven't had a sale in 2 months. Like, am I gonna be okay? Yes. I will go sell my car before Roma is not gonna be with me. That's not happening. Because I know how valuable she is, and I refuse to go back to doing that type of work. It would drive me nuts. I would not enjoy real estate if I did that. So remember, transaction coordinator is your first hire always. You don't pay them until they close. So you
Right.
hand off all that work, and if the deal falls apart, that's a loss. You pay them when they close, and it comes out of your check. Best investment ever. But before you hire a transaction coordinator, you want to make sure you know how to do the paperwork yourself. You don't want to be blind. You want to at least know how it's being done. Or you get a transaction coordinator and they teach you and you show the steps of it just in case they're not there one day, you know what to do. Awesome. Any other questions? All right. We are now wrapped up. You
Thank
guys,
you. You've been
excellent.
amazing. Thank you. I'll see you on
You're welcome.
Friday. Thank
Thank
you.
Yes, I'll see you
you.
Excellent.
Friday.
Great
All right,
job.
thank you.
Thank
And
you.
if you want to, when we send you the invite, if you have somebody in your office and you want to share this information, have them jump on, feel free to do that. The more the merrier. So she'll send out an email tomorrow to you guys with the link for the Eventbrite. Knowing her, she probably have it in your inbox tonight. Knowing her. So awesome. All right, we will talk to you guys soon, and I'll see you guys Friday.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Awesome.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
one, everybody. Good night.
Have a good night.